What if freedom isn't something you gain by effort, but something you return to when you finally let go? What if the grip you've kept on life, on your plans, your identity, your pain, isn't protecting you, but preventing you from becoming? We live in a world that tells us to chase, to climb, to control, but some truths whisper instead of shout. And one of the greatest is this: let go, and life begins. This video is about that whisper. This is about the liberation that comes not through striving, but through surrender. From mystics in desert caves to sages beneath Bodhi trees, from the wisdom of ancient scriptures to the quiet ache of modern seekers, the call to surrender has echoed across human history. But what does it really mean? Most of us carry the idea that surrender equals weakness, that to surrender is to give up, to quit, to fail. But the kind of surrender we speak of here is sacred. It's not defeat. It's alignment. Surrender is the moment we stop forcing and start flowing. It's the invitation to lay down the heavy sword of control and step into the current of life as it truly is. Over this video, we'll explore surrender from every spiritual angle. The illusion of control and its hidden cost. The death of ego as a path to truth. How surrender heals trauma, softens resistance, and opens us to divine flow. The paradox of effort and letting go. What ancient mystics, modern psychology, and universal law reveal about releasing into trust. This isn't a quick fix. This is a sacred unfolding. So take a deep breath, let go, and let's begin. We live in an age obsessed with control. We measure, plan, schedule, brand, monitor, and micromanage our lives. We believe that if we just do it right, we'll be safe, secure, and certain. But let's be honest, has that ever truly worked? Control is an illusion. A comforting one, yes, but an illusion nonetheless. From the weather to the heartbeats of those we love, from the timing of an opportunity to the sudden collapse of a plan, life is mostly made of the unexpected. And yet, we exhaust ourselves trying to manage the unmanageable. Your ego says, if I control everything, I will be okay. But your spirit says, if I trust in life, I will be free. So consider this. Every deep breath, every heartbeat, every dream, you didn't make those happen. Something deeper did. What if surrender is returning to that deeper current? A monk once said to me, I tried to control my life for decades. I meditated, I fasted, I resisted every impulse. Then one day, I fell into the river during a storm. I fought the current and almost drowned. When I finally stopped resisting, the river carried me to the shore. The river of life isn't your enemy. It's your teacher. Surrender isn't passivity. It's participation without attachment. Let's get clear. Surrender is not apathy. It's not resignation. And it's certainly not spiritual bypassing. It is presence without control. It is action without desperation. It is trusting that when you do your part, the universe does the rest. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna to act, but not to be attached to the fruit of action. This is surrender in motion. You can work hard and still surrender. You can pray passionately and still surrender. You can grieve deeply and still surrender. Surrender is not about doing nothing. It's about not doing from fear. When we release the outcome, the universe becomes our partner. Here's a short exercise for you to practice. Ask yourself, where in my life am I trying to force an outcome? Where am I grasping? What would it feel like to let go, even just a little? The space you open may be the place grace enters. Surrender demands the soft death of the ego. The ego is not bad, it's just limited. It's a survival program, a personality filter, a collection of stories we call me. But the soul is deeper, and it cannot breathe when the ego is clinging to the driver's seat. Ego wants answers, certainty, identity. The soul wants experience, expansion, and truth. Surrender dismantles the idea that we are in charge of reality. It breaks the illusion that our way is the only way. That's terrifying, until it's not. Because behind the fear is freedom. The ego is like a small flashlight in the dark. The soul is the sun. Surrender isn't extinguishing the ego. It's opening the curtains, letting the light in. Ramana Maharshi once said, "Let what comes, come. Let what goes, go. Find out what remains." That remaining presence is who you really are. There is an intelligence beneath life. Call it spirit. Call it God, source, Tao, or the quantum field. It doesn't matter what you call it. It doesn't need micromanagement. It needs your receptivity. Surrender is about joining the flow, not swimming against it. Have you ever had a moment where everything lined up unexpectedly? Where synchronicity danced into your life and it felt like magic? That wasn't random. That was alignment. And surrender is the path toward it. To trust the unseen flow means to develop inner listening, to follow energy rather than obligation, to be less reactive and more intuitive. Here's a short exercise. Sit quietly. Ask yourself, what do you want to express through me today? Then trust the whisper that follows. Pain can be a great teacher of surrender. When life hurts, when illness strikes, when love is lost, when dreams collapse, we are stripped of illusion. And in that stripped down space, there is room for truth. Surrender in suffering is not denial. It's not pretending that you're okay. It's bowing to what is and allowing healing to begin in the present moment. A woman once shared a story with me. She said, "When I lost everything, I finally stopped pretending I was in control. And for me, the first time in my life, I felt held. Surrender in Pain says, I will feel this. I will walk through this. But I don't have to do it alone. And I don't have to understand everything. That's not weakness. That's spiritual strength. Once you surrender, things begin to move. Maybe not how you expect, but always how you need. Grace is real, but it waits for permission. Miracles don't respond to control. They respond to openness. You let go of forcing love, and real love finds you. You stop chasing money, and abundance trickles in. You release the story, and truth sets you free. Many spiritual teachers say, God waits at the door of your surrender. You don't need to be perfect to receive. You just need to open the door. Surrender isn't an event. It's a practice. It's choosing moment to moment not to grasp, to breathe instead of panic, to trust instead of control, to say each morning, flow through me, guide me, use me. This is freedom, not from life, but within it. Not because it's painless, but because you're finally connected to something deeper than the pain. So, what are you ready to lay down? What part of you is tired of holding it all together? Let it go. Not because you're giving up, but because you're coming home. There's a deeper way to live, not in fear, but in freedom. Not in ego, but in essence. Not in resistance, but in surrender. And it's calling for you now. If this message moved you, subscribe to Magnum Opus 333. We explore what it means to live spiritually, fully, and truthfully. Share this video with someone who's carrying too much. And comment below, what has surrender taught you? Where are you learning to let go? Your words are a part of the collective healing. So let go. Be still, and let the mystery unfold through you. Thank you for watching. Until next time.